Okay, morning everyone. Welcome to the briefing on Thursday 16th. Okay, I've been watching today in the last couple of days, and actually this is slightly better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So, bonus, it's sort of what you would say is warm sector air between the sort of warm front that went through yesterday, well, last night really, and the cold front that's marching in. They're showing the cold front here over Cornwall at midday. Well, that's actually where it is now, by the looks of the system. So things could be a little bit ahead of what's going on. Between the two, the isobars are reasonably close together. They've been packing closer together. Over the last sort of 6 hours by the looks of it, and the wind's picking up, and you'll see that on the predicted forecast. Pressure's still fairly low, 1004. So the air is fairly unstable. What you see out the window is a solid layer of cloud that's sort of really sat in here with other low bits floating past. Tomorrow again looks like the cold front goes through, and we're still in southwesterly winds, but this low pressure is sort of sitting out here, just drawing in damper air really. So a bit hit and miss on what's going to happen tomorrow. Farnborough Taff, so 190, 13 knots, similar direction to yesterday, but a bit stronger by the looks of it. Other places are saying 210, 220, so it's southwesterly really. Broken at 1200 feet, so that's probably what you can see with this bits of cloud floating past. Remember, Farnborough's 400 feet lower than we are, so it's probably 700 to 800 feet going past us. And then there's overcast, I think, at 2.5. We'll look at the actuals in a minute, and they're saying sometime this morning it's turning into scattered at 2000 feet, and then also between 9 and 15 the wind picking up to 16 gusting 29 knots. Not sure where that's coming from on the forecast. 15 gusting 25 maybe, but we'll see. And there's the prob 30 showers and drizzle this morning, which I think has already gone through, and they're saying the rain's going to get here 4 to 6 o'clock this evening. I think it might be a little bit earlier than that. Yeah, it suddenly sort of sped up yesterday. I think it might be doing the same today. So the actuals for Farnborough, showers in the vicinity, few at 1,000 feet. So yeah, that's what we got, skimming past 600 to 700 feet. And the upper stuff, broken at 39. It does look fairly high. So once that sort of lower scuddy stuff disappears, it will be flyable. Upper winds, they're in the sort of 200, 220 degrees, 30 knot mark. So yeah, the upper winds are strong, and sometimes this does underplay it. So it could be 30, 35 knots at flying heights from the southwest. Sat pick. Let's just refresh this. It's not a great sat pick, this one, because sat 24 has gone down. But this is probably showing the lower bits of cloud in here, just coming through maybe for an hour or two this morning, and it shows the position of the rain as well, and you can see that on the rainfall radar. Odd little showers just disappearing, but the main frontal band is over Land's End at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that progress. That's a few hours earlier than the BBC or the Met Officer forecasting and the BBC were forecasting it. Temperature wise, going to feel a bit warmer than yesterday. Obviously warm sector air, as you can see there, between the two frontal systems. 12, 13 degrees, that'd be nice. Positively tropical. So I think a change taking place when that cold front goes through for tomorrow. What are top meteos showing? Well, remember top meteos forecast was produced overnight, so it may be a few hours out of date. That's the sort of cloud amounts. Sub 1,000-foot cloud at 9 o'clock over us. But by 11, it's starting to break up. And we're just having sort of clearance. It's saying blue skies by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, with the front still sat over Devon and Cornwall. And then for the next couple of hours, not really changing, and the front not actually heading towards us. So if that's the case, then absolutely fantastic. We'll get a whole day's flying out of it, but we'll keep an eye on that on the rainfall radar as the day goes on. Their wind predictions. Let's give the 30-foot winds. That's 10 o'clock. The greens are showing 15 to 20 knots in here for 10 o'clock. And then that stays fairly similar for most of the day, really. Perhaps dropping off a little bit later, according to Top Meteo, and the gusts. They're showing sort of 20, 25 knot gusts. Maybe a bit later, gusts up towards 30. So yeah, fairly windy for most of the day. Right, so flyable, K21 certainly out, but may take an hour or two before we get going. Airspace wise, not a lot in the Lasham area, all quiet around there. Cheltenham's still going with a bit of airspace, and Abingdon has still got article dropping today, so you know, fairly quiet in terms of airspace. Operationally, we're going to be on 2-3 when we go out. We operated that way yesterday, and it'll probably be the winch down in the corner on the bend of the perimeter track and towing out the cables on the grass. Actually, the grass wasn't too bad yesterday, was it? It was all right.
Half near the launch point.
Yeah, in certain places here it's still a bit wet, and the launch point on the tarmac here. Jet movements, nothing I saw this morning. No. Hopefully they won't spring anything on us. So really, you can probably have another cup of tea. We do have the wings to come off 776 to get some brackets out of it. Be a fairly quick job, and we will be de-rigging 775. So 3 K21s in use today will be 774, 778, and 431. So we'll come and round you up to unpack the hangar and give us a hand to do that fairly shortly.